HelloFresh takes the guesswork and the extra hassle out of planning and preparing delicious meals for dinner. America's #1 meal kit, HelloFresh gives you over 40 recipes to choose from each week. And then your farm-fresh, pre-portioned seasonal ingredients arrive at your doorstep with simple instructions to help you feel like the master chef of your kitchen. And did you know that HelloFresh is cheaper than grocery shopping and 25% less expensive than takeout? HelloFresh has been an awesome addition to our household's dinner routine. We all get involved and cook together, following the pictured step-by-step instructions. It's a fun quality time, and the meals are delicious. Give it a try and see for yourself. Go to HelloFresh.com/50havingitall and use code 50havingitall for 50% off plus free shipping. Again, to get 50% off plus free shipping, go to HelloFresh.com/50havingitall and use code 50havingitall.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Welcome to the Having It All podcast, the show about what it takes to live an abundant, loving life. My name is Matthew Bivens, and each week I'm helping you get out of your head so that you can truly have it all. Let's do it. What's up? What's up? Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Matthew Bivens, and I am so happy and excited and grateful that you are here hanging out with me today. Today's episode is cool because it's inspired by a couple of things. It's inspired by the Trust Challenge that's been going on currently in the month of August, and it's inspired by some feedback I received or a conversation that I was in last week with an attendee of fitness class. So a lot of cool stuff swirling around the topic of how are you experiencing your life? And this is a great conversation because so often we get caught up in the results that we're creating that we don't pay attention to how we're experiencing all of it. So that's what I'm going to dive into today. Let's kick it off with a little bit of magic. And today's example of me influencing myself, others, or life to create something amazing and powerful. It has to do with the Trust Challenge. So for those of you who are new to the podcast, right now in the month of August, we are doing a Trust Challenge where we are committing to make one deposit into our personal trust account each and every day and be consistent throughout the month of August. And these trust deposits look like little acts of self-love and self-care. And we're committing to do them every single day so that we can build our confidence in the trust that we have for ourselves, that we can show up consistently, that we can depend on ourselves, that we can count on ourselves to be there in the face of life's circumstances and in the face of our own emotions. So my magic today is that I got all of my trust deposits for the day complete before 12 noon. Now, the reason why that's magic is for the past 4 or 5 days, I had been waiting till the end of the day to do some of my trust deposits. So right now, I am doing 15 minutes of mindfulness along with rolling over the things I was doing last month, which are push-ups, pull-ups, and squats. So I have a number of different things that I've been doing, and I've been consistent. I've been showing up every single day. But some of those days, it's 10, 11 o'clock at night, and I'm getting my squat holds in, or I'm finishing up my push-ups. And what I was realizing was how much waiting till the end of the day was impacting my overall experience. The experience I was having of the Trust Challenge, because the end of the day would roll around and I'd be focused on, oh man, I still have to do this stuff. And right there, I wasn't connecting to the bigger why. It wasn't as meaningful to me to be consistent when I waited till the end of the day. So today I influenced myself to get it all done early. I woke up and jumped into my squat hold, and I actually influenced myself to meditate and do it outside. Most of the past 2 weeks, past 15 days, the mindfulness aspect of my personal trust deposit was simply mindfulness while I was doing something. So I would walk my dogs and just focus on the sounds of my neighborhood, or I would spend time in my garden and I would really just work on being very present with what I was doing. Or while I was driving, I would turn off the music, turn off the podcast, and drive in silence and simply focus on the road ahead of me. And today, though, I wanted to actually be still. And so I meditated. And so that was great. So this is kind of like two magics in one. The magic of getting everything complete before noon, and the magic of influencing myself to meditate and be still as opposed to do my mindfulness while I'm moving. So that's what I got today. It's amazing. I'm feeling great already. And, every time we acknowledge magic, we're just acknowledging how powerful we are, because we're co-creating all of these things in our lives. We are creating all of these magical moments, but so often we don't realize them or we're not aware of them. So that's why I share magic. I share magic so that we can all be more aware of just how badass we are and just how magical we are. HelloFresh takes the guesswork and the extra hassle out of planning and preparing delicious meals for dinner. America's #1 meal kit, HelloFresh gives you over 40 recipes to choose from each week. And then your farm-fresh, pre-portioned seasonal ingredients arrive at your doorstep with simple instructions to help you feel like the master chef of your kitchen. And did you know that HelloFresh is cheaper than grocery shopping and 25% less expensive than takeout? HelloFresh has been an awesome addition to our household's dinner routine. We all get involved and cook together, following the pictured step-by-step instructions. It's a fun quality time, and the meals are delicious. Give it a try and see for yourself. Go to HelloFresh.com/50havingitall and use code 50havingitall for 50% off plus free shipping. Again, to get 50% off plus free shipping, go to HelloFresh.com/50havingitall and use code 50havingitall.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
So I want to give a little bit of love to a listener. I love just passing it on to you all. Really just showing that gratitude and appreciation to you, because this show would not exist if you were not on the other end of these messages, of these episodes, and listening to them and engaging with me and reaching out. It's that back and forth that I truly, truly love, and it fills me up when I hear from you. And so today's listener love comes from an iTunes reviewer. This iTunes reviewer is Warren Peace 1. And the subject is wow, just wow, with a bunch of exclamation points. I love it. And they say, great listening. Well, excuse me. They say, great to listen to, motivating and mentally helpful, very true and down to earth. Can't say enough good stuff about this podcast. So I appreciate that, Warren Peace 1. Thank you so much for just taking a moment out to go to iTunes and leave a review and leave a rating. It's beautiful. And actually just cracked the 200 mark in the ratings, which is pretty freaking cool. I like that. So if you want to leave some feedback about the show, if you want to rate the show and review the show and subscribe, you can do that on iTunes. And you can actually subscribe on all the major podcast players, whether it's iTunes, aka Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts, or Stitcher, or Spotify, and all that stuff. The show lives on all of those platforms, and I love reading your reviews and reading your ratings. And if you leave one on iTunes, then you might be shouted out in an episode. You can also give me some feedback directly by emailing me at mattcbivens@gmail.com. Matt has 2 T's in it. and you can catch me there. It's my personal email address. You can also catch me over on Instagram. I'm more active on Instagram now, at least in my my engaging. I still only post like one picture a month, but if you want to see behind the scenes of my life, go and follow Sarah. Sarah, my amazing wife. She is an Instagram queen, Instagram genius, and she takes photos and we do little videos and she posts all sorts of stuff, and you can get a behind the scenes look at what we're up to here in the Bivens household and in our little podcast empire, because we have 3 shows that we produce here in our home. Having It All, that's my show. The Balance and Motherhood podcast is Sarah's solo show. And then together we do a podcast called Doing It at Home, which is all about home birth, because our daughter Maya was born at home in this very house that I'm recording in right now. So Sarah documents all this stuff on Instagram. So actually, what is her Instagram handle? Let me see this. Let me type it in real quick. She is at Sarah M. Bivens. So you can follow at Sarah M. Bivens to get all the behind the scenes on us. And you can hit me up at Matthew_Bivens at Instagram if you want to engage directly with me. And I love it. And I love you. And I appreciate you. I do. All right. Let's get into today's episode, because this whole thing about the experience of life is very important. It's so important. It actually made its way into my mission statement. I'll share that with you in a second. But like I said at the top of the episode, when I was teasing today's topic, we spend so much time focusing on our results. You know, we're always talking about the results that we're creating in our lives. And the results look like a lot of different things. You know, obviously there's results in our work and our careers, financially, how much money we're bringing in. But then we're also really focused on the results in our relationships. You know, what are we creating in relationships? What's our dating experience like? And, you know, how are our marriages and partnerships, and the results in things like family, you know, our family dynamics, and are we going on trips and things like that? We focus a lot on those things, but we don't, in my opinion, spend as much time reflecting on how we are experiencing ourselves in all of these different areas and in all of these different roles. And in my opinion, how much does it really matter if you have, you know, a baller ass job and make a lot of money, and you've got, you know, a partner and kids and all of these things? How much does that stuff matter if your experience of all of it is unhealthy? Think about that. There are, unfortunately, a lot of stories of people who seem to have hit the pinnacle of their craft, of their field, of their industry, and they take themselves out. You know, there are, it's like that happens in the news constantly. Every few months it pops up. Somebody who seemingly has it all, and I'm using that phrase intentionally, someone who seemingly has it all decides that what they have is just not, it's just not for them, and their experience of everything is just too much, and so they decide they need to check out. And I don't like talking about those things. Like, it's sad and it's tragic. You know what I mean? Like, it definitely impacts me emotionally when I hear about those stories. But I also want to be able to learn from them and to be able to gain perspective from them, because I'll be so honest, I absolutely am in the results rat race sometimes, many times. I get focused on revenue. I get focused on downloads. I get focused on subscribers. I get focused on my budget and whether Sarah and I are going to be going on one trip this year, 2 trips, or no trips. I get focused on, you know, the state of things within my family. I get focused on the results, and I can miss what's really important, which is how I'm experiencing all of it, how I'm experiencing myself within all of it. So this episode is a great check-in. It's a great reminder. It's going to give you some perspective, particularly for those folks who are in the Trust Challenge for this month, right? because it's easy just to be thinking about the habits that we're performing and to neglect how we are experiencing ourselves in those different habits as we're making those different deposits. Because I know for me, when I had been waiting till the end of the day to do my squat holds and my push-ups and my mindfulness, a lot of times my experience of those things was compromised. I wasn't enjoying it. I waited till the end of the day. My energy was low. I wanted to do other things. So let me just force my way through this and, begrudgingly do it. I'm going to do it because I said I'm going to do it, but I'm going to suffer through it. Is sort of the perspective and the experience that I would have at times. So these are all the things I want to shine some light on today in this conversation. And I want to share my mission statement again, because I have been intentional about, making sure and putting out there that the experience of life is what I'm playing for, not necessarily the results. And so my mission statement is to play the game of experiencing life each and every day in full beast mode, with humility and childlike faith, while being authentic with my voice and choice and being all in as I surrender to a life of principles, love, and balance, in order to transform fear to love and scarcity to abundance as I flow in the conviction of peace. That first part is what I'm talking about. To play the game of experiencing life each and every day in full beast mode. I didn't say to live life each and every day in full beast mode. I said to experience life, because that's what we're doing. We're experiencing life through our senses, through our lens, through our body vehicle. I've talked about that before. We're experiencing life mentally and spiritually and emotionally and socially and physically. And each of us has an incredibly unique experience of life. And that experience, our unique experience, is impacted by our beliefs, our perceptions, our attitudes, our worldviews, the things that we value, our personality. All of that contributes to how we experience life. So I remember in college, it was a freshman year, University of Florida, and a bunch of friends and I signed up to go for a cruise on spring break. And we went on this cruise. It took off from, I think it was Port Canaveral down in Florida. And we were all excited about this thing. It's like 12 of us. We happened to get a big old crew together. And it was great. My friends were loving it. And, there was all sorts of stuff that you can imagine that college kids are doing on a cruise when you're in the middle of the ocean. And I remember that I would watch my friends having a blast on this cruise. But for me, for most of it, or a decent amount of the cruise, I was feeling mopey. I was all sad, and I had low energy. And it was because at the time I was feeling very attached. I was away from my girlfriend, and I was feeling the separation there of not being with her. And so it tainted my experience, and I was feeling all mopey. Now, the same events were happening to all of us. We were all going snorkeling. We were all going on little catamaran boat rides, and we were all going to the nightclubs and to the comedy clubs. We were all doing the same things, but we were having very different experiences of them. Here's another great example that illustrates the power of experience over results. So I've mentioned this a bunch of times on the show, but every Tuesday night here in Atlanta, I host and facilitate something called the Play Camp. And Play Camp is a conscious fitness group workout. And again, it's every Tuesday night. And if you happen to come through Atlanta and you're here on a Tuesday, stop by. It's totally free. It's an hour and a half. It's a pretty awesome event. And the group was doing their thing. And on the first Tuesday of every month, I put them through the same workout. We have the same 5 exercises, and we track how many times you go around the circuit. And I do that so you can see how you're progressing. You can see what has shifted within you. And really what I am, the intention of that and the space I hold is so you can see how your experience of the workout changes from day to day and from month to month. So that's why we do the same one on the top of, or at the beginning of every month. So that's what was going down last Tuesday. And at the end of class, one of the play campers came up to me and she was a little bit frustrated. She was frustrated because last month she was able to do 4 rounds, and this past Tuesday she was only able to do 3. And so I could see that she was visibly frustrated. And I said to her, how was your experience of the 3 rounds that you did today versus the ones you did last week? And she shared that in the ones that she had done recently, there was much more flow. She felt more at ease and she felt strong. But because she was focused on the number, she was focused on the results, the magic of influencing herself to be in a peaceful place, despite the stress that her body was going under, and despite the circumstance of the workout, that magic was lost because she was very focused on the result. And she asked me, well, isn't the whole point of this to get better each time? Isn't the whole point of this to do more and more each time? And I said, okay, let's just adopt that belief. Then how many at your peak level of fitness do you think you'd ever be able to do? And she gave me a number and I said, okay, great. Say you did that 1 week and you didn't do it the next. How would you feel? Well, I'd feel like I wasn't progressing. And I just simply illustrated to her that there's a ceiling when you're focused on results. In 20 minutes time, you're only going to be able to do so many circuits. Even if you are a top athlete, even if you are an Olympic quality athlete, right? You're like the best in the world, you can still only do so much. So there is a limit to how many reps you can actually do, how much weight you can actually push, how many circuits you can actually accomplish. There's no limit to how your experience of all of it can expand. There's no limit to the amount of peace you can experience while going through a very strenuous workout.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details. With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
And when I shared with her that different context, it really clicked. I could see it in her face that it clicked. Like, wow, okay, I'm here because I get an opportunity to work on how I experience stress in this example, in this case. Right? It's about how we experience those things. And I love this example because it so clearly illustrates how easy it is for us to get caught up in the results. It didn't matter for her that she was more peaceful. It didn't matter for her that she was able to flow more, that her breath was more calm throughout the 20 minutes. Those things were secondary to the fact that she did 3 revolutions instead of 4. And so what I want you to do is I want you to reflect. I want you to reflect and ask yourself, where are you basing your conclusions? Where are you saying something is good or bad, or that I'm progressing or falling back? Where are you basing those conclusions based on results rather than the experience? Because I would bet that if you started to look at the experience of those things rather than the outcome, you'll start to see that, wow, you know what? Experience matters more in many instances. It's not always the case. If you're at work and somebody's giving you a milestone to hit and you have, an objective and a goal, and you don't meet it and you tell them, yeah, but my experience was so amazing, I don't think they're really going to give a crap. So this doesn't apply everywhere, but where it does apply, it is incredibly powerful. So I want you to ask yourself, is there something in your life that you're not enjoying? Something that you just really are not loving the experience. When you think about needing to do it, when you think about needing to engage with that person, when you think about your commitment to this thing, it just brings up all sorts of emotions within you. Reflect on those and ask yourself, how can I shift my perspective to create a different experience? One way to do that is to be grateful. Practice gratitude. Gratitude has this amazing ability to shift our perspective on things, and in doing that, change our experience of them. Another way to make that shift is to connect with a bigger why. When I'm doing my squat holds at 11:50 at night, if I'm connecting to that bigger why that, you know what, I'm showing up for myself, even though it's late at night, even though I'm tired, even though I want to do something else, I'm still going to show up for myself. When I connect with that bigger why, then it shifts my experience. But as long as I stay down in this lower level of energy of, oh, I got to do this thing, well, guess what? My experience is going to suck. Those 4 minutes and 45 seconds that I spend sitting on a wall are going to feel like hell if I'm hanging out in these lower level frequencies of, oh man. But as soon as I can elevate and be like, you know what, this is you showing up for yourself, being an example. This is you leading by walking your talk. You don't have to say much when your actions back up your words. When I can connect with that, then it makes the whole experience much better, much more peaceful, much more powerful. You don't have to focus so much on the results. The results don't matter as much when you are putting energy into how you experience the whole thing. And so for the play camper from last week, I guarantee the next time that we do it, well, I'm going to remind her. I'm going to remind her to focus on her experience, not necessarily the results. And I wouldn't be shocked if afterwards when I talk to her, she has a smile on her face or her energy is a little bit higher, regardless of what the results were, because she focused on the experience of the whole thing. That's what I want for you. That's what I want you to reflect on. I want you to think about it and reach out. Tell me an area in your life where you're going to be putting new intention into shifting your experience rather than focusing on your results. I want to hold you accountable to it. So tell me, reach out to me and tell me that area of your life. For me, I'm going to do it with my trust deposits. Anytime that I'm feeling like I don't want to do my squat holds, I don't want to do my push-ups, I'm going to be like, okay, let me focus on my experience, connect to my bigger why, and shift how I feel about this. That's what I'm going to be doing. You let me know what you're going to be doing. Email me, mattcbivens@gmail.com, or hit me up on Instagram, Matthew_Bivens, and simply tell me where you want to put a little bit more intention on the experience. It's an amazing thing, you know, when you shift that up. It really is, because your focus isn't on these external things, on these numbers, on the stuff, on the status, on all the things that everyone else says is important. Your focus goes internal on how you're flowing through it all. Because we're experiencing life, right? That's why, again, I put it in my mission statement. I didn't say to live life each and every day in full beast mode. It's to play the game of experiencing life each and every day in full beast mode. So I'm excited to hear what you all are going to be putting some intention into. And hey, if you haven't joined the Trust Challenge yet, that's an amazing opportunity for you to practice what I'm talking about today. Join us. It's we're halfway through. Today, if you are a part of the challenge, you are receiving an email from me with a video and some cool messages in there. And we're halfway through. It's August 15th. And so that means, let's see, we've got 16 more days. I believe the month ends on the 31st. 16 more days of showing up for ourselves. it's still not too late for you to sign up if you haven't signed up yet. 16 days is a great opportunity, great amount of time for you to make those deposits. And oh, you know what? I realized this is going to publish on Saturday. So hey, I'm getting my podcasting in early because I'm going out of town. So by the time this publishes, there'll be a little bit fewer days, a few fewer days, but registration is still open, and you can do that over at MatthewBivens.com/trust, TRUST. Can't wait to see you in there. And for all of you listening, I'm so appreciative. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for being the mission of this show, which is creating an abundant, loving life, creating our own version of an abundant, loving life. I appreciate you just showing up powerfully. Yes, I love it. Love you. My name is Matthew Bivens, and here is to you having it all. Quick note about the Having It All podcast. I am not a doctor nor a licensed therapist. I'm a guy with a story and a passion for conscious conversation. My thoughts, opinions, and beliefs are my own. So please consult with your doctor or healthcare provider regarding any questions or issues you have related to your personal, physical, or mental health.
Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. It's a thing. And now the truth is out there. I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free anytime, anywhere. And each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.